spending time with me today.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
So
I'm obsessed with you. I'm going to tell you that first. To
obviously
start out.
also obsessed with you.
I've been stalking you for a while. No, I'm just kidding. You felt like you've been being followed out.
It was probably yeah.
Seriously, I think I'm going to start this out very organically by asking, how do we know each other?
Yeah, so we met through Denver Models. The Wonder meetup was your first Denver Models, and that was my first event as lead host for Denver Models, so I was really excited to take that on, and it was just awesome. So we started to shoot at Wonder, and I've been so obsessed with you ever since. So now you can't get rid of me.
Oh my god, I was obsessed with you. So I remember walking out of this room and my boyfriend's like pointing at you and you're just looking at me and I'm like, I think he's telling me I have to shoot you now. Like a photo shoot, photographers.
That's so sweet.
He's very sweet. He's like the advocate. He's like, I will find you.
Yes.
My dream is like, I would love to manage somebody who's like who's like talent, who's just pure talent, and you are like pure talent across the board. We will get into all of the different things you are doing now, the things you've done that should be celebrated, the things you have coming up in your future that should also be celebrated. So many announcements, so many big things happening, and as a Colorado native, we'll start talking about your experience here in the Denver model community.
Absolutely.
So, I've been voting for your Maxim cover every day, like a weirdo. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. It's the morning I have my coffee, and then I'm like, all right, I go on Instagram, I go to your page, I go to your link, I do my daily vote.
Thank you so
And then I'm like,
much.
I'm a great friend. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes,
But then I'm like,
literally.
wait, look at it. Like, how hard is it? It takes me 2 seconds.
Exactly.
And you deserve it.
Thank you so
you
much.
deserve it.
I really appreciate it. Shares and follows and stuff.
Yes. So, Jahalia is a Denver model. She is an actress. She is an opera singer. You are just a talent vessel.
She's done it all at this point. I really think. Yeah, I've swum sharks. I've sung in opera houses. I've done musicals, photo shoots, everything. So it's a party all the time.
Yeah, that's badass. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank
because,
you so much.
Gosh, I feel like the world doesn't know enough about who Jahalia is.
I guess I'm always like, people are so sick of me, but so I'm like, I sure hope, but yeah, I'd be sorry if you're fucking sick of me, but
nobody's. I truly think that. I think I see like a lot of the professionalism in you. I see a lot of like the things you're doing, but I want to know more about who the person is behind all the roles. You know, behind all the different roles you're doing.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So obviously, when you're doing all of these things, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of charisma, passion. So how do you maintain? How do you attempt to maintain?
As best I can. I mean, to be fair, to go back a little bit, I was first signed when I was 18 months old, back in 1999, with an agency in Cherry Creek in Denver. They approached my mom and grandma and were like, she should model. And they were like, okay. So I really...
How old were you?
I was 18 months.
Wow,
So
you
I
were
was
a little baby.
toddler, and I got my first national ad campaign for Land's End.
Oh my God,
And it was
that's so
really, really cool.
So you're a baby model.
Yes.
And that's where it all started.
It really, it is. So we started doing that, and it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. And like as I got to school, I don't know what the actual question was. Otherwise, I would talk literally all night.
I will just stare at you.
Like these years of education years of time that I spent in like college and higher education. And
What school did you go to?
I went to Metro State.
Oh, nice. I got it.
Oh, very nice.
Well,
The department, much better. The department that I started in was atrocious. A whole bunch of changes ended up happening towards the end of my time there. And I was just like, there's nothing really in school specifically that I want to do or invest in that I feel like is going to be worth it to me, like that much money, that much, like with the rest of my cast. I'm like, I am the least qualified and like talented person here. Like I should not freaking be
It's
here.
the stories we tell ourselves, but I also feel like those stories keep us humble, they keep us going, keep us grounded, so that we're not so in the sky.
Exactly. I'm not
head
just
in the clouds too much. Like,
exactly.
I feel like that's a healthy relationship to have, because with fame, right? Because fame has its stages, right? And
absolutely.
You know, to be like big to have a sense of fame. You know, even just having a big following on Instagram can be intimidating.
Absolutely.
And it's silly, right? It sounds silly.
Right, because when you look at a number on a screen, 1,000 doesn't seem very big.
Yeah.
If you put 1,000 people in this room,
that is
overwhelming to have them walking in and out like of just like your house.
Yeah, that would be.
To just have 1,000 people as a revolving door, it's so much. And so to be able to put that into perspective is really huge. But it was such a hectic, chaotic time when I decided to get back into modeling that I guess like maintenance was not, or like longevity was not my original like mindset. It was like, here's this thing that I absolutely loved. I would love to get back into it again. Like, let's just see where it takes us. Like, I very much, I will let the wind blow me where it's gonna blow me. The universe is gonna take me where it's gonna take me. I'm gonna just ride the wave out until I use shit. You know what I mean? Like,
and
so
how does your family and your significant other, how did they think, like when you told them, hey guys, I'm gonna be a model? You know, how did they react to that?
My mom probably took the best out of everyone. When I was 7, I looked at her and I was like, I want matching tattoos and I want to be a Playboy model. And she was like, okay, kid. And we now have matching tattoos, and I do Playboy centerfold content. So. And
I've seen your mom. She's hot. Your mom is smoking. She is smoking.
She is so gorgeous.
She is beautiful, and that kind of beauty, it like shines through a photograph. Like, it's power.
Yeah.
That's power. Like, I would love to have your mom on time.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. She's like, would you like a mom-daughter?
Oh my god, yes, let's do it. Next.
Because she was my momager my whole childhood at the beginning of my career. She was my momager, and she would like manage all of my stuff with my agent.
That's my dream, to become a momager for someone. I feel like I'd be so good at managing someone famous. Like,
yes.
I've seen it all. I've lived a million lives. Like, I feel like together. You have that. You have
yes. But yeah, my mom definitely took it the best. I think she has seen me on the edge of many a cliff, and she's held her breath and she's watched me jump. And so
this was like,
we are very alike and we are very, very close. My mom had me just about as old as I am now, and so we really grew up together, and in doing so and experiencing a lot of this life together similarly, I feel like has just created this incredible dynamic between the two of us where like it just, my mom is obviously my mom first, but she is my friend, she's my best friend, she's like my big sister. Like, it's just, it's.
Oh, you have such a cosmic, deep connection with her.
Very much so. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, somewhere in the cosmos, like, she was always meant to be my mom, and I was always meant to be the kid, and always be that way, which is really cool.
I'm so glad you have, like, somebody who is on your corner like that.
Absolutely. She's my ride or die. Like, I could, unless I'm doing.
People need that.
Yeah, unless I'm harming myself or others, like, she is fully on board.
She sounds like a MVP, the most valued player. Love you, Mom.
She really is. Love me.
What's her name?
Saray. Yeah. So I love my mom so much. My fiance was.
I think I met your fiance at the Denver Models meeting too. He was
does.
there, like, much like Kyle. He gave me that like hype man impression. Like,
yes, like he was so sweet. Like, he'll hold the lights. He'll do whatever like I need him to do to like help me out. Like, he loves to watch me shoot. He's very supportive in that way. I think the initial transition into like, I am no longer going to pursue college full time and like a traditional education and a degree, and what I am going to focus on is this career. I think the initial, because he's very analytical, like he does tech, IT, cybersecurity, that kind of stuff. So like artistic, he isn't quite as involved in that world professionally, which I completely understand. And I was like, yeah, obviously, like, this is a big thing to be hearing. Like, this was a full 180 of what I wanted it to be.
When you guys were already getting married, or were you still dating, or how did that look like?
Excuse me. It was right after we got engaged.
So like a big engagement announcement?
Well, actually, no. It was a couple months before we got engaged. I decided I was gonna sign with an agency, and then shortly after that, I decided I was gonna drop out of school, and then we got engaged. And
so just boom, 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 life.
Pretty much. It literally was like one right after the other. Let's keep it going. So, because we had originally when we were talking about like how we wanted our marriage to look, our relationship to look before we got married, all of that, we ideally wanted to live together before we got married. We wanted to be graduated from college, all of these things. And I kind of threw a wrench in it because I was like, actually, I'd like to pivot. Like, let's go this way. So it was really jarring and a lot to process.
But you guys are going to experience that though, and that's a part of relationships.
Exactly.
It's like how many of these turns can we navigate safely together?
Exactly.
Because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen over the entire relationship.
The duration of our lifetime. And like getting married in the Catholic Church, that is beyond our lifetime even.
Yes.
So it is very intimidating, and so I would have been scared if he did not react the way that he did. And so it definitely caused some conflict at first. I think like as he saw that I'm consistently booking jobs and the opportunities that are coming, and like how once he got more involved and saw really what I was doing, what goes into it, all of these things, he had a much better understanding of what I do and where it can and is going as far as like trajectory. So that was good. My grandparents have chosen to kind of just brush it under the rug, and that's cool. I feel like at the point that our relationship is currently, that is all that I can ask for.
That's
so,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you can't expect everybody to want to support you, but you can't. The ones who do, you're like, all right, thank you, because I'm not sure.
Absolutely. And
but that's the blind faith of love, you know.
And like they grew up in such a different time, and there is such a generational gap, and so like I understand that what I do is not everybody's cup of tea, but what I do have the expectation of is that respect. Is that like you don't need to be disrespectful about it. You don't need to be gross or ugly.
You're
whatever.
very mature. You strike me as an extremely mature professional woman. You know, and you're.
And that's on trauma. And that's on childhood trauma.
And this is on camera.
Yes.
You're like,
where did it begin? Let's go back to the beginning.
Behind the scenes. But I think that's wonderful because it tests life. You don't want somebody who's complacent and just like. You want somebody who's going to challenge you. Okay, if this is what you want, that's great. Go after it.
Absolutely.
Full throttle.
It's not conducive to surround yourself with echo chambers and yes men. You want people who are going to give it to you very straight and say like, this is not working out. Like, and I'm very realistic in the conversations that I would have with my fiance Matt. I would say like, I have a very realistic idea of when it's time to say this dream is not working out, and because sometimes that happens and you have to say like for where we are right now, I am not like it is not giving what it needs to give, right? So we need to figure out
the ebbs and the flows,
you
the
gotta
highs
shift.
and the lows, you
have to be willing to be flexible. And so understanding that like while it is my passion, my dream, like if I'm not booking gigs consistently anymore.
Sense of like, you want to chase the dream, but you also want to be able to sustain a lifestyle. I mean, we're natives, so we've been here forever, and we can barely afford certain things, you know what I mean?
Really?
So it's a very real conversation to have. So it's like, when do we pursue? When do we take breaks?
Yeah.
You know?
I do. And I think it's very interesting because when I got back into the modeling scene, I had no idea that there was this as large and established of a community as there was. And so when I jumped into the community, it was definitely having to learn how to like navigate some of this stuff again. And when you run into photographers who will reach out to you and ask like, hey, I would absolutely love to work with you, let's talk concepts.
Right.
And you talk all these concepts and at the very last second they go, awesome, here's my rate. To me as a model,
Correct. It's very
it's not for me it's like, it's not a profession, like I get it.
Yeah.
To me, if I am reaching out to someone whose work that I
Right.
enjoy, my expectation is that I am just wanting to work with them and be creative.
Yeah.
And that like I'm not trying to like
get something.
from them because
Right.
what I'm getting from them is the opportunity to work with them.
Intention is everything, right? So if your
100%.
intention is to create organically and, you know, just be real about things, there's a way to go about everything, right?
Like if you are super established, you've been working in the industry for years and years and years, you have all of these like clients and this
You
massive
probably
portfolio.
get desensitized to the way that you
Well, like I understand wanting to come forward and say like, hey, here's my rate, like
Yeah.
because I have all of this experience. Like for me, doing TFPs, I'm like, and for people who don't know, it's time for photos, time for print. So for
Your
in exchange, for me coming and shooting with you,
Right.
photographer, you are providing me, instead of me paying you, you are paying, like we're paying each other by me showing up and having you photograph me, and you are paying me by giving me the photographs.
Right.
So,
and models put in, I just want to make this very clear, because models pay for outfits, they pay for makeup. Makeup's expensive.
you gotta do your makeup.
You have to
Like,
do your makeup.
If you can't,
Like-
you gotta get somebody who can. And
Right.
like,
It's a lot. Basically, it's a lot that goes on into the pressure of the model, and then she has to show up, show out, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
there's one, I just did a shoot yesterday morning where we rented a dress, we went down pretty much to the Capitol and like walked
Oh, I saw your dress.
downtown.
That was an interesting dress.
It
It
was
like
really,
vintagey.
really cute. Yeah, it was like kind of, it was like fairy princess vibes. It was like,
Oh my god, it's like Rock
it was
Princess.
Yes. So we went and shot, and one of the poses I did, when I got the photograph back looking at it, I'm like, you cannot see that I am literally vibrating, like shaking, because the way that I have positioned myself. The model's job is to be able to make this look doable.
That is insane.
Like I'm not even touching the ground.
That is an
almost.
insane pose. You
And
have
so-
to show the camera. It's
So-
it'll capture it.
Okay, cool.
Look at
So,
that. It's
what
wild.
people don't understand is that as models, we need to. be
That is
able to-
exhausting. I could not. There's no way I could do that.
It takes an incredible amount of stamina, of like physical work to be able to achieve some of these incredible, beautiful pieces of art that look effortless.
Yes.
And so it's hard because then you get into this gray area where people want to value themselves, their work, their experience, while also trying to make a living
Yeah.
in a world that is impossible to afford to live, that is set up and designed to make sure that like the people who can't afford to live don't get to.
Right.
Like, period. So I totally, like, I get the one side where it's like, well, here's my rate. And I'm like, okay, well, here's my rate. If you are reaching out and you have the expectation that you would like to work with me and you would like to be compensated, then please know that I have the expectation that I would like to be compensated as well.
Right.
And I feel like as well, what people in the Denver modeling community within Colorado don't realize as well is that because I showed up when I showed up and how I showed up out of literally nowhere, they assume that when I showed up, that's when I started. As opposed to,
that's a good one, and it is a big part of it. You know?
and I've had a bunch of photographers and even a couple of designers pop off to me and say, well, I've been in this business for 5 years, I've been in this business for 10 years. And I said, cool, I've been in this business for 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years.
You're like, and I'm humbly, gracefully here doing my thing. So what
like,
are we talking
exactly,
about?
if you want to be recognized for your 5 years, please know that I absolutely have the expectation of being recognized and compensated for my 20.
Yep, absolutely.
So,
and what is the given of that? And I think a lot of people are in that gray area right now, and I hope that everybody resolves it. I give my models their full gallery. I am the most
God
abused
bless you.
photographer in Colorado.
Oh my God.
Let me tell
You
you.
are a saint. Doing
But
God's work.
here's the thing. So here's why. Okay, art is subjective, right? More so, I'm a huge believer in putting in the work, right? So if I'm out there, yeah, honestly, midway, I'm like, I'm tired. Maybe I'm giving too much. Maybe this is way too much for me. But when I go get that 1,000 log of photos and I go put it on my computer, I'm like, give me your input because we are creating together, you know? So yeah, you want to go shoot in those flowers? I'll throw you in that flower bed, you know? Like, let's create together, you know? And I have these 1,000 log photos. I look at it, I'm like, wow, this is a lot. I've gotten so good at, okay, you go ahead and pick your photos, I'll pick the photos I like. Because here's the thing, I might think that these 10 photos you look phenomenal in, you know? And then you'll see them and be like, I hate these 10 photos.
My eyes have
been
my
open.
nostrils doing a
This
weird
is
thing.
the
My
ugliest
fingers
angle of me ever. You
And
know?
I feel so horrible because the number of galleries I've gotten back from photographers I've worked with, like that I did for the first time, like that kind of thing, or like it was a concept that I wasn't totally sure about, but like that I really wanted to do, but it was kind of out there. And like the galleries that I've gotten back and looked at them and been like, everything is so perfect, but I hate how I look.
Yeah.
Or like
or the person that I'm creating with, because when I work with families, when I work with people who are actually paying me, same thing. Like, is there anything you want me to do different? It's professionalism. You're, you
and
know.
welcome to artists.
Yes,
We
and that's
have
what it
some
is.
of
It's
the
our ego.
biggest heads, but like you can't tell us shit. But we're also so sensitive. Like, please don't critique me too much. Oh my God, like I don't know.
I hate it.
Like,
It's so
I think I
true.
do, but
Like,
at the same time, shit.
Yeah, compliments, and then you critique, and we're like, we're just gonna keep going and not hear that part. But I'm a weird person. I think that I like the abuse. I think I like it because I think it's helped me grow so much as an artist in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
The way I've grown is by giving more, you know, and you give more, you receive more, you know, and I've gotten more people who want to work with me, and it can be overwhelming, but like, things that matter is like hanging out with someone, getting to know them. Hey, how was your week? How are you doing? What goals are you aspiring to achieve? You know, like, who are you?
Yeah. It was nice yesterday when I was shooting. That was the first time I'd ever had a photographer ask me. She was like, "So what are your life goals?"
No,
Just like as we're shooting, and I was like, "Damn."
who is she? Let's shout her out.
Boojay Snaps is her Instagram handle. I absolutely adore her. Her vibe is amazing. Our little like cancer buddy vibes. So I really recommend it if you can. Go check her out. Go follow her. Her work is beautiful and amazing. But yeah, it was just. And at the same time, though, I understand the need as an artist as well to make a living.
Yeah.
And to not be a starving artist.
Camera equipment is expensive, so I get that one.
Tremendously.
I get that one for sure. I mean, especially if you're wanting to keep up with the game, you have to have new equipment. Like, you can't be running on that old.
Yeah. Every second, there's new technology coming out that is making what came out 6 months ago completely obsolete, which is it just, to me, it makes the ability to create this kind of art so much more inaccessible, and it is just limiting every day the people's ability to have access to this equipment and the technology and the know-how to be able to do and create these things. And so that definitely sucks. And so it is so hard to try to find the balance between running a business and making connections and being collaborative and community oriented as an artist.
Right.
So I think it's just at the end of the day, I know, and it's like, it's so much easier said than done. I try so hard not to, like, I've had to do like a lot of like internal work and like, all right, hothead, like let's put that on the back burner, let's cool off a little minute, simmer, because you were at a roaring boil, and just like not take it personally and say like, cool, like that's awesome, like I appreciate you sending your rates, or like, here's what I am currently charging right now, like if you are interested in working something out, I'd love that. Otherwise, like, thank you so much for your interest, or thank you for responding to me, whatever. And
your tribe will find you.
True.
So, upcoming announcements. I would like you to plug what you have going on right now.
So, the main things that I'd love to plug are obviously my Maximum Cover Girl voting.
Yes.
So, if you go to either the link in my Instagram bio, or you can just go to maxim.com/Jahalia-Coleman, and you can go ahead and vote for me. You get like 1 free daily vote, or if you would like to donate to Wounded Warriors, I get, like, you can give me more votes in a day, but please don't feel obligated. The other thing,
It's really cheap though, isn't it? Like $1.
yeah, it's like a dollar per vote, and then there are some days where like yesterday was like a 2 for 1. So
I did see that.
If you like pay $2, I get 4 votes instead of 2. So totally up to you, but it would mean a lot. Thank you. And then my other like main plug would be The Wedding Singer. So right now I am playing Tina Turner and lovely Crystal and The Wedding Singer.
What a
at Town
big
Hall Arts
role
Center.
to fill.
It has been the most fun time. I love playing Tina Turner, like a little Tina Turner impersonator. I'm just like, and I get to kick a dude in the face. I get to kick a narcissistic, misogynistic motherfucker in the face.
That's so badass. I
Who
want to go
doesn't
so
love?
bad.
Literally. So right now we have shows Thursday through Sunday, and then we have 2 matinees on Sunday.
I'll probably be there Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm off on Saturday, so I will be there Saturday.
Yes, please come to our closing weekend. We would absolutely love to see you. I would love to see literally any and everyone there. So it's such a fun time. If you love the 80s,
How much
if
are
you love
tickets?
music.
Like, where can I get them?
Yes, so they do something called rush tickets, which means if you show up to the theater an hour before showtime, all of the tickets are $10. So regardless of where the seats are.
Better get there early.
It's
That's
a
an
super
amazing
great
deal.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ways to be able to go see theaters when they do rush tickets. Otherwise, depending on where you sit, it ranges from like 30 to almost $60. So if you're like front and center, it'll probably be a little bit more expensive. But there's, it's Colorado's most intimate professional theater space, so it's not much bigger than like the space we're in right now. So it's literally no matter where you sit, there's not a bad seat in the house.
That is
it's really cool.
dope. Those are the best ones where you can like really
literally,
be
like,
close and like.
From like if we were sitting, like if this couch was a seat, our feet would be on the stage.
That is so
it's
cool.
so cool. So
That's how I prefer my shows, and that's how I prefer my concerts.
yeah, I love shit like that. So yes, please come out. The Wedding Singer Town Hall Arts Center is the name of the theater, and we're in Littleton. So yes.
I know. What times are you guys?
Yes, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and then we have a Saturday matinee at 2, and then I believe we have 2 shows on Sunday, 7 and 2.
Wow, that's a lot of back-to-back, girlfriend. So how do you Sharpay yourself out of like?
I do have
what is your
I have a pre-show ritual.
Yeah.
I do have a pre-show ritual. I'm very superstitious in that regard, so it is the same every single day. I tend to get there 30 minutes before, an hour before our call. So I always get there super fucking early. So
Being
I get all the
early is
makeup
the
done.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, because I want to get all my makeup done and not feel like I'm stressed or like pressed for time or anything like that. So I'll do my makeup, and then I'll get into my microphone and my wig cap. And then I will typically take, I'm such a lunatic, I have an onyx crystal, a white onyx pillar.
Oh, wow.
So I will take my pillar and I will take it with me to go pee. And I just sit in the bathroom with my little crystal and go pee. And then I finish getting ready, and I'll like tuck it in my bra until the last possible second. And then take it out of my bra, and I go on stage and I perform. For some reason,
No, that's amazing.
it is just like, oh, and I use a ton of essential oils all the time when I'm back there. So it's like, it's a little like hippie.
Like lavender, calming.
I have a breathe blend that's like kind of mentally, because it just helps open me up, I feel like. And it just like, it helps relax me a little bit. And then orange essential oil. I love
Look at
orange.
you, yes.
So it's delicious, and I always smell very tasty. Oh, and then an Aveda grounded blend. Like they're like chakra sprays from Aveda.
Oh wow.
I use one of those too. So
Realign those chakras really quick before you go on
Yep.
stage.
Get me all aligned. Get me nice and ready. My white onyx is good for confidence.
Yes.
And I have my little sunstone for prosperity.
I'm so excited to see you from this.
It's so fun. So I'm very excited for you to come.
Yes, I'm really excited. I'll be there around Saturday, so if anybody wants to hang with your girl and watch beautiful Jahalia perform, I'll be there with Kyle. So bring your significant other, bring your friends, bring your parents, bring your families.
seriously, parents would probably love it because it's all 80s. They all grew up in it.
Exciting. You and your role as a human being. Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. I think I really wanted to connect with like a younger audience. I have a lot of young people in my family and a lot of young cousins, and seeing them grow up in this era, and they're trying to navigate their little selves into this world of mostly, like, I guess, young women, because we are women ourselves.
Yeah.
So you and I directly know how that feels. If you were to give your younger self advice, what would you give? What advice would you give young people or people in general? Even adults need fucking advice.
Oh,
so.
truly. I think the advice that I would have given to my younger self probably would be to stop listening to everybody else around me. To stop doing things for the people around you, because at the end of the day, like, nobody gave a shit. So I worked my ass off and I went to college and I did the thing that like my family wanted to do. And at the end of the day, they still weren't happy with what I was doing. Like, it wasn't enough.
Do what makes you happy.
Exactly. And like, I was already dying inside, so I was like, well, if I'm gonna be miserable doing what you want, like, I may as well be happy and doing what I want. And so schlepping off the expectations of others would probably be the biggest piece of advice I would have given to my younger self, and in general, just young people, is that while I feel like while working within the structure of expectations that others have had around you can be a good thing, because it kind of, because life can get really overwhelming. There's so many options, there's so many possibilities that like you could really
get stuck in the clouds, head in the clouds where you're like dreams. But
exactly. So to have like a really solid understanding of very realistic expectations while also having like your idealized goals and dreams. Yeah. Exactly. It's finding that balance while also just doing it for you. Like, you shouldn't be doing anything for any other person but yourself. Like, if you are not doing it for the right reasons.
Yes.
So really just putting yourself first, taking care of yourself in that way, and in really any way, because it doesn't
be a little fucking selfish. It's okay.
Literally.
No one's gonna be mad at you. Oh, how dare you live your life the way you want it.
She's taking entirely too good of care of herself.
Yeah, nobody's
I don't
gonna
like
say
it.
that.
Like, exactly.
Shut up. It's like, live for you. I think a huge thing is the college thing for people right now. It's like,
I agree.
People are like, do I need to go to university to? My thing is, I'm a first generation, so you know, there's a lot of pressure in that. So I totally relate to having to live up to that expectation.
Yep. But
I've always been a fucking like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want kind of person.
Yep.
So, and when you live like that, oh man, you're living true to yourself. So then all these doors that are specified to you will open. Yes.
Yes.
But you have to pick what is right. Say yes to things. Say no to things. Like, a lot of artists, a lot of us have a lot of mental health issues. You know, we are all. It's not all sunshine and rainbows for us, you know. To create is to give a piece of yourself, and I think it's precious, but it's also terrifying, you know, and intention is so important, and with that, it just reiterates life, right? For me, at least, to see like, oh my gosh, like, I keep losing more people in my family than we're at, you know, and it's the harshness, but the very real essence of life is that it does come to an end. So why the fuck not?
Exactly. Change is the only constant. So why not just fucking go with it? Like, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, be like Nike.
And if it isn't working, and if it isn't working, do something else.
Do something else. And then don't let, you can't live your life on the bubbles of everybody else's expectations. So.
No way.
So what is something difficult you've overcome that has made you a better person? What did it teach you about life?
Oh. God, okay. The biggest thing I've had to overcome was the realization that the morals, values, and beliefs that were instilled with me growing up were not truly how the people who instilled them in me felt.
Woo! That's a big one.
And that rocked my foundation of like who I am as a person.
Whoa.
If these things that I believe were fundamental truths about how I was to operate in the world, how I was supposed to operate within my family, how I was supposed to like be wasn't the case.
Isn't it crazy when you find out your family's fucked up too? Like they're all fucked up too, and their expectations of, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like,
Miss Mayo. Like I was, oh my God, it rocked my world, and I still am so, like I am still an open gaping wound from it.
Yeah.
Because it was, to me, what I felt to be such a violation of like, wait a second, I am this way because you told me to question and challenge everything that didn't feel right.
Right.
And to listen to my intuition and to like value family above everything else and to do this and like go through life in these steps and stages. And now that like I'm at the point where like, all right, I have been doing these things, or like I'm about to get to a point where like I will be doing these things, and to have it turn around and be like, well, you're doing this wrong. It's like, well, no, I'm doing exactly what you told me, how you told me to do it. So how could that have been not the case? So it really taught me that, first of all, like to a certain extent, family doesn't mean anything. Like who you are blood related to and who you choose as your family, like it doesn't matter. That's a
hard hitter. It's a real hitter, but it's a hard hitter in reality.
Yes, is that like we could be blood.
You can create your own fucking family, bro.
Yeah, like for me, like I don't have a relationship with certain members of my family because their presence in my life would be detrimental and harmful, and like in many ways that like it would not be healthy or safe. And so to be able to make the decision, like some people would look at me and be like, well, I could never, because that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my mother, that's my father, like I could never, they're my family. If they are not treating you in that same way, they are not family. They do not have that care and consideration for you.
Girl, I feel like we could all relate to that in a sense. With me personally, my mother, I can relate to that. I have a very difficult relationship with her, so, and I'm sure it's somebody you're thinking of in your mind.
Definitely. I mean, it just, you gotta do what you can.
But now you know that. And
exactly.
Now you're aware of that. So what do you do with it?
Exactly. You keep moving.
Right.
You keep going. Nothing.
Dancing,
exactly.
girl.
I was like nothing. And that was the other thing that I feel like is like I was like, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't change who I am as a person, because like regardless of if you agree or disagree with what I'm doing, like I know my heart, I know my intentions, I know the care and compassion, consideration that I have for my people, for my community, for just like human.
The saddest part
life.
is it comes from, I'm gonna say it comes from family. Some of your most deep haters, unfortunately,
That's the motherfucking team.
will come from your family, or them hometown haters. Just kidding. Those people you grew up with who are like, don't want you to make it for some weird reason. You're like, we can all make it. Why don't we all make it together? Like,
but yeah, I will say like it. Sometimes the people that are closest to you are your harshest critics and the most detrimental people to your
growth.
Exactly. Literally took the word out of my mouth.
Scary. It's scary.
Petrified.
Because you
then
trust
you're like,
them in a
who do I
different
trust?
way.
Exactly. You're like, if I can't trust my family, who do I trust?
Right.
Who is safe?
Yourself.
And, exactly.
And your intentions. And who you bring into this bubble of your world. Because it is important. And it's special.
Yeah.
Alright, so for every guest, I want us to play a game, because I am a games girl, and I grew up with a lot of boys and men, and super competitive, and love to play games. So this one today is Truth or Drink, and we are sober right now and not drinking, so we're...
Mom's gonna drive.
Yes, so it's just literally a truth game.
I have water, I will drink instead.
Yes, and so if she does not want to answer a question, she will take a drink, and yeah. But I want you to go ahead and pick your card deck. Okay. This is to add additional things to those, like, it's a corresponding pack, so. Alright, but this one is happy hour, and it says only good times allowed with these feel-good questions for you and your drinking buddies. You and your sober buddies. See, this game can be played with or without alcohol. That is a big win, Truth designed to engender levity, joy, conviviality, and all-around positive vibes. These questions force us to enjoy each other's best qualities. Okay.
Done and done.
All right, perfect. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I grabbed 2 cards. And they're stuck together. Okay, we're not doing that. Obviously, this has been played when we were drinking. The cards being stuck together is an indicator. All right.
Yeah, be proud of